Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Louis Sports Network. Third straight video in the building. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Thursday. Before we get started, make sure to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, make sure the post notifications are turned on, make sure you're sharing on your social media platforms. Truly appreciate it. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Thursday. Third straight video. We are going to get right into it. So this video is going to be about Bronze Boy, Rich Paul, who continues to lie and tries to brainwash the masses about LeBron's GOAT status and how he's the greatest player of all time. And now he was recently, the funny thing is I didn't even realize he was on the Pat McAfee show just last month in March. And now he just appeared on the show 2 days ago on April 15th. And the topic had came up about the big threes that have happened in the NBA. And apparently, Rich Paul took it upon himself making excuses for something that I will get into as soon as I finish playing the soundbite. And it was just that the Miami Heat were never a big three. The interesting part about that is LeBron years later, in 2017, when he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers for his second stint with Kyrie and Kevin Love, I remember when they lost to the Golden State Warriors in 5 games, a reporter asked him about the super team question, and he said that he had never been on a super team, but that there's a super team in Cleveland. Right? So, watch this. We are going to play a soundbite from the 2017 NBA Finals. And this was after Game 5, because it's going to connect onto what Rich Paul is saying about the 2011 Miami Heat. Okay? Here we go. Now, we're going to take a listen to what LeBron said in 2017, and then we're going to compare it to what Rich Paul said about 2011. Let's take a listen. So we're going to skip, because this happens to be on the fumble. Let's see if it goes to the soundbite. And it's not going to go to the soundbite. Okay, so we're going to try it again. I think here it is. All right, guys, so take a listen to the clip of LeBron James in 2017 after losing to the Golden State Warriors in the finals in 5 games. Take a listen to what he said about his teammates in Miami and that he never played for a super team. Let's take a listen.
You get what I'm asking? Hey, LeBron, Eric Pincus, Basketball Insiders. You've been a part of 2 super teams, the one you have here, the one you had in Miami.
Notice he said, the reporter says that he's been a part of 2, not 1, but 2 super teams in his career. The one here in Cleveland and the one in Miami. Let's continue to listen.
Looking at what the Cavaliers, rather the Golden State Warriors have done, are you still a fan of the concept? Do you think it's a good thing for the NBA to build these teams, how they brought in Kevin? And you get what I'm asking?
No, not really. I don't believe I've played for a super team. I don't believe in that. Okay. I believe we're a super team here. So no, I don't.
Did you hear what LeBron James said? The reporter said he's played on 2 super teams, but LeBron James' response was like, he hesitated. He couldn't even answer that question right away. He hesitated, and then he says, I don't believe he's never been on a super team. Not even the one that he's currently playing with. You know, the one that Shannon Sharpe and Nick Wright just gloated about when they were dominating the Eastern Conference, the weak East. But because he lost to the Golden State Warriors, he has never, ever played on a super team. Yet the reporter says he's been on 2. So is the reporter a hater, or was he telling the truth? Because remember, LeBron James was the one that had said this, right? When he joined Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, right?
LeBron, tell us about that.
Not 2, not
3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. Hey, and when I say that, I really believe
and beating him down a little bit.
But now, you have Rich Paul saying that when you think about it, Chris Bosh was a professional and that the Miami Heat were just three guys, but they weren't a big three. It was really more of a big two. And it just continues to show how much the La Media keeps trying to rewrite history. Let's take a listen to what Rich Paul had to say about there was no big three in Miami. Take a listen to this.
That's not the end all be all. I always love a big two. I don't really love a big three. I don't really. People talk big three. It's never really worked. And you say, well, what happened in Miami? That wasn't really a big three. There was three guys that went in the lottery and they did really well individually on their teams. So they put up big numbers and had big accomplishments that were, when you went in the lottery, and they did it really professional. He took a back seat because he had such a high IQ and he was such a professional as an individual. His approach to everything is what made that work. When you look in Boston, okay, you can say Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce was a big three. Again, thinking about names, but the way that offense was ran, Rondo's capability during that time, it was a lot different. When you seen people go for that, it never really worked. And I've had this conversation with several different, owners of teams and having this.
That was one of the dumbest takes I've ever heard a LeBron lackey pretty much say. And you wonder why LeBron gets the hate that he does, because now he's saying how Boston was a big three, and then if you include Rondo, but the big threes never really worked. So you're pretty much, what you're really saying, Rich Paul, is that your boy LeBron is a failure, because LeBron is the one who was orchestrating his move to go to Miami, joining up with Wade and Bosh, then him leaving to go join Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. Then he gets to leave again, and then he colludes to get Anthony Davis. I mean, okay, he wasn't a part of a big three there, and it was really more so a big two, but let's really face it. He won the most championships that LeBron has won when he was part of a big three, and that was in Miami. See, he's won a championship. Actually, 3 of his 4 titles were when he was with multiple All-Stars. 3 of his 4 championships have been on super teams. 3 of the 4. But now once again, he compares the big three as if to say, well, they were the ones who started it first. But remember, Ray Allen, KG, and Paul Pierce were all in their 30s when they got together. And again, they weren't the ones who were going to each other and say, oh, let's team up this, let's team up that. The organizations was the one who brought the players together, not the players. This was different. LeBron, Chris, and D. Wade were in their primes, and they were not even 30 years old, and they all decided to come together as free agents. They colluded together without the influence of the owners to come together to form a big three. It was different. LeBron guaranteed 7 championships out of his mouth because he knew he formed a super team and he cheated the game. So he knew, and that he firmly believed, he thought that the Miami Heat were going to dominate the NBA for years to come, and he was going to be the reason. He was going to be the architect that built those championship teams together, that it wasn't the owners, it was the players. And his fans would say, oh, LeBron is just the smartest, most high-level IQ general manager player in the history of the game. But then they'll always say he's not the general manager, he's not the GM when things don't work out. But let Rich Paul tell you that he likes big twos and that Bosch was the ultimate professional, but they were just three guys. They were not a big three. Well, let me just say this then. By your own logic, Rich Paul, you're really basically saying that LeBron was a role player. He was the third best player in the NBA Finals on his own team. That's what you're really saying. Because let's go back to just game 4. Forget about the series. Let's just go to game 4. Dirk Nowitzki scores 21 points on 6 of 19 shooting. Dwayne Wade, 32 points, 13 out of 20 from the field. Chris Bosh, 24 points, 9 of 19 from the field. LeBron James, 8 points. He didn't even crack 10 points, ladies and gentlemen. 3 of 11 from the field. No points in the entire fourth quarter. JJ Barea had the same amount of points that LeBron did in less minutes and on 2 less shots and made the same amount of field goals. He was 3 of 9 from the field, ladies and gentlemen. 3 of 9, 8 points. In a game, mind you, in which LeBron loves to call that we were just, yeah, we had a big 3, but we had minimum guys. It's like now you're trying to excuse what you can't excuse. And now Rich Paul's trying to do the same thing. Wade and Bosh combined for 56 points, and you still lost a game in which LeBron scored 8 points. He had the same amount of points as JJ Barea, for God's sakes, in that game 4. No points in the fourth quarter. And you want to know what the score was? 86-83 in favor of the Mavericks. It came down to the last shot. And I remember Wade lost the handle of the ball. It ended up in the hands of Mike Miller, who took a desperation heave to try to force the game into overtime. And it missed. I saw the game multiple times from start to finish. And now Rich Paul wants to go how Chris Bosh was just a professional and it was just 3 guys. Now they're just 3 guys. By your own logic, LeBron was a role player in those finals. Had he played better, the Heat won 2 games with LeBron playing below average. Way below average. It just doesn't make any sense. So now it's like, oh, when you think about it, he took a backseat and he played a role. But Rich Paul, Chris Bosh was 4th in the league in player efficiency rating in 2010. Chris Bosh was coming off back-to-back 20.10 rebound seasons. As a matter of fact, in his last season, 24 points and close to 11 rebounds per game, was already a 5-time All-Star. Dwayne Wade led the league in scoring in 2010. He was a 6-time All-Star, former Finals MVP. Both guys won Olympic gold with LeBron in Beijing, and both guys are from his same draft class. All 3 of those guys were in the top 5 in the NBA draft. But they're just 3 guys, and it wasn't a big 3. Chris Bosh had to sacrifice his numbers. Take a look at what Kevin Love was doing in Minnesota. Oh, he was just putting up empty calories on a garbage team and all that stuff. But did LeBron maximize the best out of Chris Bosh? Did he maximize the best out of Kevin Love? Their numbers were reduced when they played alongside Bron. That's a fact. Bron does not make players better. And I just told you and broke it down. 2011 finals, you cannot erase. And now and Rich Paul and LeBron keep trying to rewrite history. They're trying to make you forget about it. And notice, like I said before, again, when LeBron was last on the McAfee show, he didn't even say the 80s and 90s. He didn't even say the 80s and 90s. He went to the 70s. It's almost as if you're going to say, well, there's no 70 players that are going to come out and they're going to talk bad about me and call me out and say that I'm disrespecting their era. Like, you're not going to, it's like, it's almost as LeBron is thinking, what 70s players are going to come out and criticize me? Because he knew the players from the 80s and 90s, you know what it came. I mean, hell, remember what J.J. Redick said about plumbers back then. Who came out? Dominique Wilkins, Jerry West when he was still alive. And Jerry West played in the 60s and early 70s. Don't you think if John Havlicek was alive, he probably would have said something? The thing is, you just don't know. I mean, even role players that played in the 80s came out and called out J.J. Redick too. Like, who was he? But let Rich Paul tell you that Miami was just 3 guys and he loves big 2s and doesn't believe in big 3s. But fails to mention that 3 of LeBron's 4 championships came at the expense of being with 2 other All-Stars. The only championship that he got with just 1 All-Star was AD, and instead of LeBron allowing AD to be the Finals MVP, because along with the defense, AD was the game changer to be able to give you 20 plus points. Apparently, he was frozen out intentionally so that LeBron could get that Finals MVP. And to say that he carried AD. And now AD's getting blamed for the fact that he slows the Laker offense down all of a sudden. So my question is, if Wade and Bosh apparently just got old and Wade just couldn't hang with his knees, it's just the narratives that these guys come up with, man. It's unbelievable. Oh my goodness, when the receipts are evident, man, they just can't admit that they're wrong. They just can't admit it. They will go with that lie to the depths of it, to the day they die. That is how brainwashed they are. That is how much glazing with a bunch of knee pads and a pillow to support their knees with their knee braces, how much they support LeBron James. Even when LeBron is constantly being such hypocritical of himself, the receipts are there, and it's just like, do you not understand what you're doing and saying about yourself? It's like the proof is on the internet. People have found clips, and you're still making it up and getting these LeBron gawkers to believe you. LeBron James has an insecurity complex about his place in NBA history. He has fake humility, doesn't hold himself accountable, and blames others because of how he's viewed in the GOAT debate. He just doesn't go out and play basketball and show true leadership. He's a fake-ass leader. He's fake. LeBron is a fake leader. Plays with a lot of talent, has forced so many trades since 2010 to stand front and center. This is why I told you guys I have, and I always will, call LeBron the Guffafote, the greatest fraudulent frontrunner of all time. He's not the GOAT, he's the Guffafote, greatest fraudulent frontrunner of all time. When things are all good, he wants to be in the front. Oh yeah, man, I did this. It's all about me. I'm a competitor, man. You can't spell the word competitor, bro. Because all you like to do is you like to duck the smoke when it gets hard, when you have to face adversity. It's everybody else. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Louis with another one. Sorry for the long video, but just had to go in on Rich Paul and them for the lies that they're spewing. And again, we're not going to rewrite history. We're not doing that, man. Again, in the words of the great sports and fitness rants, we got to really, us basketball fans that really understand the game, stand up. It's really difficult to appreciate the era when the propaganda agency known as Unclutch continues to go on TV with some of the minions that used to play with LeBron James, continuously to spread lies about his career, and then try to make it seem like if the players of the past did absolutely nothing, but that they're the ones that are hating on the new generation. It's just like, there's so many things that have happened to the game. I'm not expecting the game to be what it once was, but you should be able to do something to make me still appreciate the game. The problem is LeBron thinks he's bigger than the game, and that's what Rich Paul and a lot of these guys go on TV for. They make excuses to think that LeBron is bigger than the game. How can you blame this and that? I said the greats of the game took responsibility, but it's just LeBron James is the only one exempt from that, apparently. Did you see Pat McAfee's face when he said that when Rich Paul said that that LeBron was not part of a big three, that it was just three guys, and he's like, I believe in big twos. Like, even Pat McAfee looked at him like, yo, this dude must be crazy. So if it was just big twos, why did LeBron go to Miami? If it's just big twos in Cleveland, why did LeBron go back to Cleveland to form with two other players? If it was about dynamic duos, why would LeBron try to recruit Carmelo Anthony before Chris Bosh was the other option? You get what I'm saying? LeBron already told you he wants to play with all the great players. He told it to the media. As long as he gets the credit and they do the work for him, that's what gives him security. What doesn't is what's happening now. He's calling out the older generation of players who criticizes him, and more they're starting to come out. But what was the blueprint that set the standard? Stephen A. Smith, Stephen A. Snitch, and LeBron's beef have now gotten a lot of guys who had to go along with telling you what they think of LeBron. Now they're starting to come out because they feel like it's okay. But that's because Stephen A. is making the money and he's got the platform to do it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Lewis with another one. It's one of the long videos, so stay tuned. Coming up, I'm going to be uploading these videos, and let me know what you guys think. As always, bless up, live, laugh, love. Thank you guys for watching.